in the backcourt today. Smith at the buzzer. Oh! Count it! Sticks! Play the not-out song! Oh! Ayala, numbers, sticks! Oh, sticks! With some big bark!
Hey, what's going on, guys? It is Dibes, Mr. Crockpot on Twitter. What's going on? Today on tap, I want to talk to you about Jalen Smith, forward from Maryland. This 6'10", 20-year-old sophomore became the first player from Maryland to be named AP All-American since Grievous Vasquez in 2010. Jalen Smith checks all the boxes for being a modern forward in today's NBA. How does Jalen Smith fit with the Philadelphia 76ers? Let's take a look. Jalen Smith was an elite talent coming out of high school out of Mount St. Joseph. He was a McDonald's All-American and a 5-star recruit according to 24/7, ESPN, and Rivals. He chose Maryland over other offers from Villanova, Virginia, Duke, and Arizona. Jalen Smith had grown up a Terps fan, and it was a dream come true for his family and Maryland basketball fans everywhere. Jalen had a very strong freshman season at Maryland, starting all 33 games and averaged nearly 12 points and 7 rebounds per game. He certainly showed flashes of what's to come his freshman season as a member of the Maryland Terps. He was a double-double machine from the jump and was named to the Big Ten All-Freshman team and won Big Ten Freshman of the Week 3 times. Jalen Smith was a finalist for the Karl Malone Power Forward of the Year and Naismith Player of the Year awards his sophomore season. He was named AP Third Team All-American and First Team All-Big Ten. Jalen Smith was a machine on the glass, putting up 21 double-doubles in 31 games. Should he declare, Jalen Smith's combination of defense and perimeter skills certainly makes him one of the most intriguing prospects in this year's draft. In my opinion, Jalen Smith is one of the top players hurt by the coronavirus. After a slow start in November and December of 2019, Jalen Smith's shooting and efficiency really began to take off and become more prominent during the last 2 months of the regular season. Smith was setting himself up for an excellent NCAA tournament, and it's a tragedy that he wasn't able to showcase his unique skill set on one of sports' biggest stages. Alright guys, let's get into the strengths of Jalen Smith. First up, this guy is a perfect fit for the modern NBA. While Jalen Smith may be 6'10", his talent and skill set go well beyond the paint. Smith is an inside-out prospect that shows great touch around the paint and can consistently hit a jump shot. He's nicknamed Sticks for his freakish athleticism that allows him to switch on defense and protect the rim. He had the second best offensive rating in the Big Ten at 123.9 and a true shooting percentage of 62.6%. Smith also had the #1 effective field goal percentage in the Big Ten at 59%. Check out these clips of how Jalen Smith is a perfect fit for the modern NBA.
Known for his three-point shooting, which he hasn't made one tonight. So an interesting night for Wiggins. Somebody known for his blocks, Jalen Smith right there. He takes it the other way and gets the finger roll to go.
He had the lead because he was paying attention defensively. Good point. Cullen. 3. Good!
He had to kick it out. Now Spencer kicking the ball. Up ahead. Cowan.
Oh,
but guess who did not miss it? Jalen Smith.
Feliz weaving his way through, blocked away by Morcell, and Ayala's got the loose ball for the Terps. Here's Jalen Smith for 3. Got it!
Teskey getting some very important time on the bench. Smith just rips it away from him. He can run the floor with the rock.
The second strength of Jalen Smith is that he is a force in the paint. One of the best rebounders in college last year. If there was a guy who passes the eye test, this is it, guys. Jalen Smith averaged 10.5 rebounds per game, good for 17th in the NCAA. He made several highlight dunks and putbacks his sophomore season. He had the 3rd best defensive rebounding percentage at 25.6% and the 8th best offensive rebounding percentage in the Big Ten at 11.5%. His combination of defensive prowess and offensive efficiency led to him having the 19th best win shares in the NCAA at 6. Let's take a look at how Jalen Smith dominated the paint last season.
No look pass inside. What a beautiful feed. And the throwdown
shot in 10 minutes of play.
Well, now 2, and that's a pretty.
Cowan, they switch off him. Eastern gave him to Proctor. Cowan the lob, and Stick stuffs it in.
The lob to Smith.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Anthony Cowan had just 3 at halftime. He's got it going in the second. Shot clock didn't reset. Smith knew it and finished with a foul.
Maryland has the ability to. This is going to be an uphill battle for them, no doubt.
Their only loss to Michigan, the last home game. How about that spin move from
His versatility and ability to play either 4 or 5 really helps. Morcell in the and right on cue, Sticks runs the floor.
Went underneath an awkward landing.
the Maryland ball up by 1.
They like anything Cowan or Ayala at the top of the key, but anything Cowan. There it is.
Cowan to Smith.
Third strength has to be Jalen Smith is a phenomenal defensive prospect. Due to his insane measurables, this is a prospect that will likely climb up the draft boards as the draft process continues. Standing at 6'10", 7'1" wingspan, Jalen Smith plays like a power forward but moves like a wing. He's extremely fluid, which allows him to change direction on a whim and stay in front of his man. Jalen is extremely quick off the ground and can block or misdirect attempts at the rim with either hand. Jalen Smith was second in the Big Ten in defensive win shares at 2.4 and fourth in defensive rating, which was 88.9. Jalen's 2.4 blocks per game was second, and his 8.2 block percentage was good for third in the Big Ten. Let's take a look at Jalen Smith's best defensive highlights.
Good. They're just who's going to get better this year is probably going to determine the national champion, because there's about 25.
Smith to set a screen to attack Garza. There's Garza going right back inside. And Smith says no.
Spencer has it swatted by Jalen Smith.
Defensively, extra pass. Langevin swatted away by Jalen Smith. And hit their free throws down the stretch as well. They ran very opportunistically. Garza hit by Smith.
The last strength of Jalen Smith has to be real perimeter skills. Jalen Smith possesses one of the more diverse skill sets in the draft. He shot 36.8% from 3, 32 for 87, and shot 75% from the free throw line at 4.8 attempts per game. He's got a face-up game and the ability to stretch the court to the three-point line. Don't get me wrong, Jalen Smith still needs a lot of refinement on the block. However, Jalen's elite athleticism also makes him a terror on the offensive glass for putbacks. He had 14 games of at least 4 offensive rebounds as a sophomore. Jalen's 11.6 offensive rebounding percentage was good for 8th best in the Big Ten. Jalen Smith is one of the most efficient players in the NCAA, finishing with the 3rd best player efficiency at 29.3. Let's take a look at Jalen Smith's perimeter skills.
Remember the drive and dish to kick here a couple of minutes ago for a big bucket as well.
Was that another slap of the floor by Michigan State on the defense? That might be a trademark copyright violation.
A little bit as Maryland is playing better in the second half.
Yes, they are. They're going to their main guns like this one right here.
Oh, he is really heating.
Going inside to Smith.
Baseline jumper is there.
And that was a wide open step-in three.
Now into traffic, kicks it out to Smith. And he knocks down a 3.
Good shot. You got to keep Cowan invested in this. I mean, this guy can't score because he can, but
Smith caught the low pass and now a shot blocked away. Smith with an open 3.
has had good shots, though. Even the air ball was a good look. This is a good shot. It's his shot.
He can definitely shoot it from out.
Right into a 3. He should have to work really hard to get an open 3 to not walk into it.
How does Jalen Smith fit with the Philadelphia 76ers? In this era of positionless basketball, a player is measured by how many positions you can defend. Players who can stretch the floor, protect the rim, and control the paint are a premium in today's NBA. Jalen Smith is a modern NBA player who can switch on defense and provide real spacing on the court. Jalen's stock will undoubtedly depend on how well he shoots from the perimeter when the NBA draft process begins. When looking at the Sixers, the Al Horford signing has been a disaster. Yes, Horford started playing better as the season progressed, especially during that last 10 games where he shot 39% from 3. But let's be real, his shooting 33% from 3 this year. Horford's inability to fit next to Ben or Jarrell has been one of the biggest disasters in Sixers history. Horford is owed $27 million per season the next 3 years. The Sixers will surely look to move him this offseason. Let's get back to Jalen Smith. His ability to switch on defense, defend the pick and roll, and play small ball 5 and be a threat from beyond the arc is the ticket here. This is what makes him a very interesting prospect. Make no mistake, Jalen Smith is a raw prospect and will require some seasoning and development, but Jalen Smith checks all the boxes for being a prime fit next to Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid. It is a priority for the Sixers to find a stretch 4 to groom alongside Ben and Joel. Jalen Smith being an elite defender is truly the icing on the cake. What are my final thoughts on Jalen Smith? Despite the inside-out skill set, Jalen Smith currently projects as a mid to late first-round pick in this year's draft. In the world of pick and roll and small ball, this is a guy who really needs to be on every Sixers fan's radar. It's no secret that Smith needs to develop both mentally and physically. He needs to improve at finishing through contact. He needs to draw way less fouls. He needs to get stronger. Jalen Smith also needs to work on his ability to keep the offense moving. He only had 25 assists compared to 53 turnovers as a sophomore. Jalen Smith's skill set on defense and shooting from the outside makes him a perfect fit for the modern NBA. I could see him excelling in Connor Johnson's pick and roll system with the Bluecoats next season. Jalen Smith seems to be the next darling in NBA analytics, and the thought of him playing alongside Chris Kumaji with the Delaware Bluecoats would be a dream. In summary, Jalen Smith's ability to switch on defense, stretch the court, makes him a perfect selection for the Sixers at number 22. Jalen Smith's versatility will make him a home run pick for the Sixers in that 2020 NBA draft. How do you feel about Jalen Smith? Please let us know in the comment section below. You can read the full article at thepaintlines.com. Make sure you lock it down to the Blue Root TPL on Twitter. I'm Dibes, Mr. Crockpot on Twitter. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay